god.
Ooh, it's
Oh my
he's
god.
starting to do.
Oh my god! No, 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 no! Flashlight. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Ready? Watch this. Down. I mean, sideways. And then up. And then down. Fudge. Okay.
Right?
Ghost riding.
That ghost isn't gonna find itself with you in the van, Aretha.
Right.
Listen, I'm
Huh?
stuck on some wire here. What?
Infiltration.
Give us what we came for, lady. Get back in that house by yourself and go experience some scary shit. right, meow.
Right.
Actually, let me put up a camera before she does that.
That has spoken. Spooky out.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
Are you in the building?
No. In the building. Did you all see that?
Shit! I was too busy singing a song.
I wanna lock you up in a string.
Oh fuck, that's right.
And BT, oh my god.
Right
Okay.
behind you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jump through the window for life.
Oh shit. Go, run, you bro time, run. Run.
Yes.
Tasha, these are just pros, okay? You just saw a master at work. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm deep
Hold on, let me. Oh, no, go over here.
oh, she's coming.
Gabriel Ultra Kill. Okay. They are PC.
Hi. You know, I heard the chase music, so I was like, I'm gonna just
Yeah, why
punch
not?
this corner for a little bit.
Aretha's got it.
Oh, not the light bar. Let's go. Look at this esports play over here. Paddle slam with the flashlight to the face. Let's get it.
Yes.
She ain't gonna do that twice though.
I did it 2 times now, so I'm like, oh, she's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's part of
And
my
party hat.
challenge.
Listen, he's not on the team. Did you have it? Was no way there?
That bitch scared me. I was in the basement.
No, 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 no. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Oh, you can't do it. That's right.
I got 15
Get
seconds.
away, Aretha!
Listen, I am running the killer. Wait.
To us.
Sorry, I'm running. I'm injured.
My fucking god!
How is
You
Aretha
got
not
it!
down yet? That scream. I love it.
Love you, mean it.
No! No! No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You goddamn cocksucker. No! 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 Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Wait, run? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait, wait, is it this one? No, this one. Shit.
Jesus Christ.
Did I get him? Wait, is it massaging the ears calms people down? Okay. Okay. My weapon is out of ammo.
Just once yet. Well, I haven't even been near my computer in like days. Ooh.
Hello. Hi, how are you? Yeah, where's that thing? Steam. How are you doing today? I'm just quickly munching on some stuff. I kind of late. I just realized I need to push my chair over. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? I would say I'm such a snacky person, you know? I recorded a podcast episode today. That's why my makeup's done. I'm wearing my friend's shirt. Or her sweater, sorry. See, I'm just loading up the game now. How's everyone doing? How was your day today? Anyone have anything interesting happen to them on this Monday morning? Monday. Heck. Why? Let's go to the store. Unlocked. I think I have majority of the stuff here. Is this the only other outfit I have that she has? Okay, fine. We'll get the Laurie Strode outfit. Not happy about it. We'll do it. Okay. Okay, I have all these things. Okay. Bundles. What is this Halloween bundle? I know. Well, he's not leaving. You just can't purchase him anymore. So if you already have it unlocked, they're not taking it away. But they also did this with Stranger Things. Hi. Copy 77? Hello. And Hellraiser, yeah. What is the Halloween one then? Special bundles? I guess I already had all of the Halloween ones. And Hellraiser, right? Oh my god. Is the game louder for you to me? Yeah, Mikey is like that, like Pinhead. He's getting removed, but you can still yeah, you can still play him if you purchased him. The map will be gone. If you want any of the cosmetics, you have to get them now. But I will say, one thing we learned from Stranger Things, there's always an opportunity for them to come back later. I don't think Pinhead was even there that long, right? Yeah, the map is going to get removed because it's part of the bundle, right? It's the same thing that happened to Stranger Things. The Stranger Things map went away too. I'm pretty sure I saw that. Baby Lambkin Lane? Because doesn't Mikey have 2 maps? When are we gonna play? Oh, I just got here. I literally started 16 minutes ago. Yeah, but soon. I just wanted to look at the map. Or look at what's in the store. I didn't get a chance to really look at the sweaters. Oh yeah, she's a paramedic. No, it's okay. Okay. If I play killer, right now I've been playing a lot of Naughty Bear. Because I think he's the best. He's just so cute. I just want to go give people bear hugs to death. Wait, didn't Claudette already have a sweater? Oh, you mean Oni? Hi, Vin. Okay. Should I play killer or survivor first? I feel like the tournament, I did so bad at killer. I mean, I guess I would rather buy the sweaters that I can buy with, like, these, because you earn them. Okay. Ugh, I didn't even play this character. I'm a collector. I just always want to collect them all, you know? Oh, I don't even have enough points left. When doesn't it? Okay. We're a little behind on the podcast because the person who is in the last podcast for the episode works for Disney Animation Studios, and so we're just waiting on approval. They're the only guests that we've had to, like, run things by to make sure that we have approval to post. So it's taking a little bit longer than we expected. I do want to message that. Actually, you know what? I was messaging earlier. Okay. Actually, I just checked. We did get approval. So after stream, I will do it. Yeah, so originally we actually were gonna have another person, but this person was sick, so we had to postpone it to another time. And then they're still sick, so we had to postpone it. So we're actually interviewing them on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday. And so because of that, originally this person's episode was supposed to go live, and it would have been so much easier if that had happened. But again, like I said, they were sick, so we, sometimes schedules and things, we just gotta roll with it and see what happens. But yes, now that I know this, I can publish it as soon as I'm done streaming. It's so funny because I actually have to download something first. I have to download it to upload it. There, I'll multitask. I'll do everything at the same time. Happy Monday, Mel. How are you? I was just shopping and I ran out of money. Should have prioritized my sweaters, to be honest. Oh. You know. Sable. Sable and white. Ooh. I'm good. How are you doing, Mel? Should we pay Survivor first or Killer first? Ooh, shoot. You've been missing my streams. I didn't stream a lot last week. I wasn't feeling well last week, so I didn't stream that much. I've been busy lately. I wasn't sure if you were streaming. Yeah, I didn't really stream much last week. I was really busy. There were so many things that just happened last week that I already wasn't feeling well, and I was like, you know what? I need to like relax. Okay. All right, I'm publishing the podcast episode right now. Okay. I'll fix all those things later. Oh, shoot. All right. All right, y'all. Should we play Killer or Survivor? Oh my god. I love crunchy things, you know? Killer has a 1.10 bonus. Ooh, thank you
Hello
for redeeming.
again, Naughty Bear.
Thank you for redeeming your daily golden ticket. I don't know why that's open. Okay. There we go. Just showing you behind the scenes. Okay. Should we make some friends? And then we can switch to Survivor after. If anyone wants to play, you're more than welcome to. Ooh. Okay. Do we murder them all, or are we nice in the Christmas spirit?
time has come to hurt some people.
The time has come to hurt some people. Okay. Oh shoot, I don't even have my controller on. I don't even have it with me. Oh, I also got my COVID vaccine today. Oh. A bit. Ah. One dude hasn't even been dead yet. Why are you dropping this pallet so far? Oh. Seriously? What the hell? Why are you DCing? You know, there's someone in here that I have not seen at all. Well, also, hi, damsel. Oh, shit. Oh. Da na na na. Oh my god, you had dead hard? Sometimes these bots are so funny. I wonder if I can find the... They were like, next. Okay. Bye. Wow, I swear, when I play killer, I'm like so locked in. How you doing today, damsel? Did you play any games today?
Where have you ended up this time?
I could keep playing killer, but if anyone wants to play survivor, we can. Ooh, that's what I want to do too. Hold on. I hate these ones. Damage 15 generators in a single trial. Those are like the worst. $15 generators. Okay. You know what? Oh, Surge does? Okay, hold on. Good to know. You know what? We're gonna do this one. I'm gonna switch this one for Surge. I didn't use my ultimate weapon enough, but then again, I was always chasing someone, so I didn't really need to, because I kind of knew where they are. Although I never really saw that one survivor. Wow, these matches are fast. Yeah, it counts as a damage gen. I saw it work for somebody playing Wraith, and I was like, oh my god, I wouldn't have thought, yeah, right? Well, I feel like sometimes it's one of those things where unless you're like a killer main, you don't really think about what it is, you know? I've got like crumbs. I have like the party thing that's like sun chips, pretzels, cheesies. I've only got little crumbs left now. It was my little snack after eating. Right?
Won't it be fun to shed some blood?
run through my trap? Ah! Oh. Shit, I totally forgot about this one. You know what? I'm gonna go back this way. I hear someone. I hear feet. Oh, there you are. You know, if they weren't running around, I wouldn't even have heard their feet. Damn it, I can't kick that one no more. Ah! Damn it. The bone collector. Why is it always one person that I'm like, I can never find you? There you are. Okay. I'm eating really good Dominoes right now, so this better be good. Poopy. What? I'm eating really good Dominoes? What you talk about? Hey, Kara, how's it going? Ooh. Posture check? Posture check. Yay! I'm doing all right. Kara, I have a project for us to do. Oh shit. It's for Grandpa. Sometimes people just jump through this thing like... You know what? Hold on. Do we let her go or do we sacrifice? Do we think our little friend? Oh. Oh, they did leave. Wow. Posture check. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hello, naughty.
Let's see. Ooh, I got it. Oh, and I did the interruption thing. Oh, wow. I'm completely caught up in my Rip Pass. You know, sometimes I don't think I play this game that much lately, but I do play a lot still. I'm eating the crumbs of my chips. Oh! I'm making a mess of myself. Oh wow, that was salty. I think I did all my killer challenges. Sacrifice or kill 60 survivors, so I still need some more. Which these are just quest mount. Like, these aren't limited, right? If I'm thinking correctly. Right? Okay. While we're in between, let me just check something out. I can switch to Survivor if anyone wants to play Survivor with me. You're more than welcome to join. I do open lobbies. Oh my god. Okay. I have to do that still. Okay. Let me quickly post something. I'm like, I don't even have this thing. Okay, hold on. 1 second. Let me finish this one thing. How's everyone doing? I think I finished all of my killer challenges. We can go to the bone. Oh, I'm actually almost done these ones too. Oh, I did these killer ones too. Okay. So now I can switch to survivor. You know what? Let's switch to survivor. I feel like I want to have fun, run around. Would anyone like to join? You are more than welcome to. Ooh. Nope, just hit my mic. Oh, also, I finally got the thing to put my mic in, and I finally installed it. I just need to install my mic onto it. So I have my arm back. Okay. Also, I do have a lot of clips, you know, from playing DBD. I really need to post them a little bit more. Because I really need to, like, I do post a lot of clips on YouTube, and most of them do get pretty good traction. But I need to do that before I apply for the Fog Whisper program again, because Twitch for me is so hit and miss. Like, I am pretty consistent, but I do play other games. But yeah, I do usually play DBD on Mondays, but sometimes I'll play other times as well. But, you know, it isn't always Monday, you know. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't know how they figure that out for which game I'm playing and how much hours I have, or what my average viewership is for that one game, because I do play more than one game. I'm just posting something real quick because now that I can do the episode, I just want to make sure that it's correct. Okay. Ah, I'm almost done. Accessibility. Ah. Okay. I posted the picture on Instagram. Should be good. There we go. Okay, I'll post more things about it tomorrow. All right. Does anybody want to play some DBD with me? You are more than welcome to join me. Do 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 do. Okay. I guess I'll play. Oh wait, hold on. What should I do? Who was I on? Laura Croft? Hold on.
Something's not right.
Woo! Did my game just freeze? You know what's funny? My game never does this if I am invisible. I know, right? It's frozen though. It's making the noises, but I don't see it. See, and I have to force it shut. But if I'm invisible, this doesn't happen to me. So I don't know if I'm just getting attacked from being online or what. Because I remember there was a thing a long time ago that people were getting your IP address from like your settings or something, but I'm pretty sure mine aren't on. Yeah, allow games using Steam networking to share my IP address for faster connection. And I have mine to never. I don't know. I can be on for the next game. Oh, okay. Come join me. It'd be a lot of fun. I also have a little bit of a headache, which sucks because I know it's a weird type of headache because when I have this kind of headache, I think it means my blood pressure is high. Shit! Oh my god. I keep forgetting to do something and I keep getting distracted. I can't do it now, but you know when you think about something, so then it triggers this other thing, and then it triggers a memory, and then it triggers a reminder that you were doing something. I have to do it on my other computer. I'll wait till someone reminds me. Hopefully.
Got to find Sam.
I think it's funny that Laura doesn't have a sweater. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If anyone wants to join, you're more than welcome. Like I said. I love these. They're Fisherman's Friend, cherry, artificial flavor, sugar-free lozenges. And I love them because they're sugar-free. Hi, Jungly. Wait, I didn't even hear that. Why did I hear that? Huh. Is that not blurb? Why is this one? Wait, why is this grayed out? The lurking Jason? I didn't hear that. I'm just switching to Survivor right now. I was playing Killer. Wait, hold on. Can you all hear that? Need another... Yeah, come play again. Jesus. It's working. Wait, I just realized yours didn't work. Hold on. Okay, I fixed it. I don't know why, but Blurp needed to be reset. Jungly, come play. Damsel's gonna come play. Jump in and join me for this wonderful world. Oh, hold on. Is this you, Damula? Right? Sometimes DBD just doing DBD things, you know? I am in my voice chat. If you want to join, you are more than welcome to. Just jump into any one of the voice chats in the Discord and I will drag you in. Ooh, look at you in your fancy sweater. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not you being the one that hates Christmas this time. What? I don't hate Christmas. This is the closest I'm gonna get to Christmas sweater on this character, okay? It is a Christmas outfit. It's very wintry. Exactly. It is a very, very wintry outfit. Is anyone gonna come join the Discord? Come chat? Come hang out? I'm very fun. I play games. I'm nice. And I have a perfect smile. So feel free to join me in the Discord. Hello.
Hold on. Did you just say you were nice?
Yeah?
Where's Tasha when you need her?
Who knows?
Tasha, I'm summoning you.
She's probably busy doing something. She's not here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Keep my receipt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh. So, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna be just preparing for a busy work week, and then yeah, lots of other stuff. How about you?
It's an evil laugh. It doesn't mean I'm evil.
I didn't realize that was a redeem.
Yeah. Miranda said, I need a redeem of you laughing. So I literally sat here laughing into my microphone, recording it, so I could get this audio clip to then make a redeem.
That is amazing. You do have an evil laugh.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why is your reaction thingy the Among Us or the...
Oh, because it was like that the first time I played. When I first used it, I never got around to changing it, so I figured it's pretty on brand still for me, so I might as well keep it.
Okay.
Sounds like Spirit. Also, I'm so sad about Michael.
Sounds like Team Spirit. I mean, I guess we kind of knew it was gonna happen because they were coming up with their own game, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of wild because that was the very first killer license they ever got.
Yeah.
So it's so sad at the same time if you think about it because it's what started it all pretty much for them.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like I was saying before, like for some people.
You know what's really odd?
They can, well, so could they, because you know how, like, they took away Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
It can always come back, you know what I mean? They can always renew the license later.
Well, I think today definitely showed that this chapter is very high in demand.
Yeah, because I was looking and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I was gonna make sure that I had all the things, and I think there was like one outfit of like Lori's that I didn't have, and I was like, oh shoot, I had everything.
Yeah, I think the only stuff I didn't have was like the lead pipe stuff or like the screwdriver. I didn't have those.
I think I saw a glowing totem. Oh wait, there was right here.
But yeah, it's sad, but you know, I'm sure it'll be back one day.
Well,
I'm gonna miss Haddonfield though, because Haddonfield I'm so used to.
I know, I was saying that. I'm like, yeah, and plus, like, I think the thing is, like, we're gonna miss the map or whatever. And someone was in on my YouTube chat, and they were like, what? They're taking the map? I'm like, yes, anything to do with the chapter will be gone. Because they did the same thing with Stranger Things. That's why we didn't have the lab. Like, that map was gone.
It's just interesting because they just reworked Michael a few months ago. Remember? Like they just changed this whole kit, so that's why I'm a little surprised that they announced this because like what was in my head it's like what was the point of changing his kit? You know.
Right?
Okay, so Saloon Gen is done.
The gallows has a brand new part. Oh, I'm going to the basement. What? I'm going to the basement. Not that you hook too. Jesus, what did I do? I just got here.
Some help.
See me. I get you. I think I can quickly heal you, hopefully. I will make it. Oh, seriously? Come on, Spirit. No.
Jeez. Oh, at least they're not coming after me. Oh. I was just about to say, I'm like, oh my god, did I just lie?
I might think again.
Are they,
Nope,
she,
nope,
yeah,
nope,
no,
nope.
she came back.
Nope, she's after me. Sorry, Dwight.
Ooh,
Forgive me.
another glowing totem. She's gonna hate me. Oh, now haunted ground.
You know what? There's no point in healing me right now because I'm just gonna get knocked down.
Oh,
Let's
she knocked someone else down.
Oh. Dead man switch. Not dead man switch.
She's falling for my pebbles.
Nearby. She's going back to the gen. She's leaving. I'm going to it now.
What gen were you on? Which one?
It was the one that was near the gallows.
Okay.
Thank you. Done. Too late, spirit. Oh.
I think we are all quite far from you. Unless, is anyone coming near you?
Someone's on their way, it looks like.
Yeah, Dwight. He's also being chased by the killer. Hey.
Thank you, Woodrow.
Wow, she did not want me. I think our killer's in a snowman.
I can see that. Yep. They're chilling, they're watching. I can see them. Oh, we might have possibly pre-gen?
Oh no, because one's at the gallows and the one's back here, so I've got some that are pretty far. Wait, are they on
Did you just hardball?
me? No.
Oh,
I was in
sounded
a,
like you hardball.
I was in a snowman.
Disregard. She's after Elodie.
Yeah,
Well,
that's damsel.
I have an idea. Actually, let's power through. She's not in chase anymore.
No, no, no!
Oh, damn it!
Oh shit.
She must have some type of aura reading. What the heck did she see? a door. Oh, I meant that door.
Oh no, they're on damsel.
He's opening all the way. Hold on. I'm coming back.
I'm here. Oh, oh,
Gotta go. What? How did you still go?
I don't know. That literally went through me. Oh,
Go, Rita, go! I just realized Damsel's not with us, though.
no. Let's go see.
Hold on. We might have about enough time, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, it was rude. Instantly recharges Yakamoko's haunting after breaking a pallet. Oh. Okay. Oh.
Ooh, look at all these extra trinkets.
Have you finished all your stuff for the thing yet? Ooh, full boom. Huh? Yeah, the Bone Chill event. Have you finished all of them yet?
No, I have to cover. I have to cover 5 generators in snow. I see Snow Skull. Currently doing some trials for that one, and then assemble an instant snowman 5 times at a snowplow, which that is. So those are the only 3 challenges that I have.
I think. It's not mine. Yeah. Assemble an instant snowman 5 times at a snowplow. Yeah, I think that's the last one I have. Until the new ones come out, right?
I think they come out tomorrow.
Also, I have a challenge to eat totems. I still have 9 more to go. So if you see me doing that, that's why. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I won't touch a totem because I do not have a totem build on right now. So I will remember not to touch the totems. Except, I mean, I obviously got the 2 that were lit. Ooh. Okay. Hey, can I play with you? Yeah, sure. Yep. Webs in the game? Okay, hold on. Let me see. With a period at the end? I sent somebody a friend request. Oh shoot.
You want us to back out?
You know what? We'll play this one round and then you can join the next one. The matches are pretty fast anyways. Because also, I think if it's through Steam, I think you have... Oh, shoot.
Is it through Steam?
Yeah, I think if you did it through Steam, you have to close your game and open it again, or you won't be able to see me. No, we have one more spot. We have one more spot. The person who's in our game right now is a rando from the lobby. A rando from the lobby. Yeah. No, but we have one spot. One more. I just know I've had issues like that before when you add people on Steam. Someone said you could circumvent it if you accept it through your phone.
Yeah, I've heard issues like that before that everyone's been having.
Yeah.
Wait, went the wrong way. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it.
We're not clapping anymore though, unfortunately. Hold on, wait.
Well, I think we're out of sync. Hold on. Oh shit. There we go.
There you go.
Ah. I mean, we were doing so
We
well.
should be clapping here though.
Right?
Like what I'm doing right now. Alright,
Okay.
well.
Nope. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Do you even know where the killer is?
No, nothing yet.
This map has Maurice.
Oh.
So you know where I'm going. Oh. I have heartbeat.
Wait, Shack is done. This is the middle.
Ow! Oh, dear, dear baby. Ah!
Not like this.
Wait, are you stabbing Maurice? Okay. She's going to the main building.
Oh, she didn't see me. Look at that.
No, she's on the hill right now. Looking, I think she sees the person in the carnival area. In the carnival. I really gotta turn my mic up. Oh my god. There we go. Is that working? No. Probably not. Hello? I feel like my game is so much more louder than I am. But maybe. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh, she got blast mine. Yes. gen. Gotta get that middle gen done.
Oh. They left, they left. Oh shit. Oh shoot.
Middle gen's done. Oh, she's nice. Never mind, she's not. I don't know what she's doing. I'm so confused.
No, damsel, no! Why did you get me again?
Look. Yarn.
Oh, they have iron grasp too. Okay. Oh, they put me down. Again?
Come on.
I don't know. I'm not a reader right now. I don't know what she's doing.
I was just gonna say, I'm not 100% sure. She sounds like she's being friendly, but not being friendly, you know?
Like she seems nice, but yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I am not 100% sure.
Fine.
I really do love these Walking Dead ugly sweaters. They're actually really nice.
Yeah, I do actually like them. I think they're really good. This one? This gen is done. Which gen are you on?
At the carnival. The other carnival.
Okay, moving. Did they run away?
I think she just decided to let us go.
Hold on, I still need to get... Okay. Going. I don't even know whose hand I'm clapping at this point. Snowman on parade.
Yay, the bicycle!
Yay!
Someone pointed that out one time and I didn't even notice until afterwards.
I noticed it this time too, where I was just like, oh, okay. I don't even know what's happening. And I was like, wait, I'm stuck. And they were like, yeah, no, you gotta move until you move. Wow, they already left.
I wish I could stay on longer, but I gotta get some sleep. I gotta get up really early for work tomorrow, so.
Alrighty, well, have a good night. Thank you for playing. Much appreciated.
You too as well. Bye, everyone.
Bye. I'll do a shout out. Everyone go visit Jungly Russ on Twitch. Ooh, yes. You did join, right? There we go. Welcome on in. How's it going? Oh my god, why am I always clicking on things? I'm not working. Here, let me see. What's this one? All right. I gotta update this picture. I'm doing work in between. Woo. Okay, once I get Laura Croft to... Oh, I don't have enough? Ah, damn it. So close, so close. I think I can't... I don't think I can switch this out. I think I have to delete it and do it again. Shoot. Create a post, select from computer. There we go. And collaborators. Oh shit. Okay. I'm almost done. Okay. I got it, I got it. Okay, let's see. Did I do that right? Sorry, someone just sent me a photo. There we go. Ooh, shoot. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Okay, so now if I go here. Okay, do I have everything with me? I'm trying to figure out this last stand. I haven't used it yet, and I want to get used to using that one. Okay, that one. And go here. Go here. Go here. Fix it. There we go. Okay. I'm like, did I have like a messenger thing in here? No, 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 no.
What is this place?
It's kind of super situational, no, and can only be done once. No, is that a good? That's a good question. I don't know. I guess we all just screamed. I'm trying to, I mean, I'm definitely trying to figure it out, you know? Okay, I had to redo this. I had to repost this picture. Sorry, and I just had to make sure that it was done right. Are we basement, Bubba? Shit. It's coming back to the... They're coming back. Jesus. Like... Oh my god. Are we
Come on.
right. Are we basement, Bubba? Yeah, there's no point. I think we can abandon as well. Like, when did we get a basement, Bubba? It's like there's no point. We can just like get out of the game sooner than later. Hi, Neon. Got a naughty Bubba. Yes? Hi, Neon. I had a boon super close, but got snuffed on Forge. I know. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I noticed you both were in the thing. I was in a locker. And also, when I wasn't out of the locker, my distortion was going off the whole time. So. Yeah. Hi, Neon. How are you? Sometimes it's like, let's just move on. I do like the abandon feature. I like that it seemed to kick in quite well. Yeah, he wasn't leaving that area. Like, at all. I mean, it happens. Is there an actual challenge that you can hook everyone in the basement? Is there? Yeah. Well, I mean, at least hopefully they got it. If that's what they were trying to do. But I did my my post. Thanks. Yeah, so my next episode of my podcast is now up officially. They were messaging me. They didn't like the picture that I used, so they wanted me to change it out. And I was like, that's fine. I don't mind doing that. So I just quickly did it. Maui Wowie! Hello! How are you? How are you doing? How was your Monday? That's good. That's good. Thank you for redeeming your daily golden ticket. Oh. Thanks for playing. Sent you an invite. You can join. Anyone have any plans this week to do anything fun and exciting? Oh, Frybird Queen has joined the party. Hello, hello. Ooh, I do see, I do see. Ooh, hi, Frybird Queen. How are you? Wait, are you streaming? No. Neon, you got timed out for 60 seconds. It's a mystery box. I am in my voice chat. Frybird Queen, you're more than welcome to join the voice channel. Oh. Oh, it looks like you're already in a voice channel. Damn, you love. Well, that was unexpected. Yes, it's the mystery box. So the mystery box has good items and it has bad items. One of the items is you get timed out for 60 seconds. You're frozen. You can also gain 15 channel points. And you can also gain 50 channel points, I think the other one is. But you can also lose 15 points, and you can also lose 15 points. So again, like, there's a combination of good and bad things that can happen. It's a mystery box. You don't know. It's a gamble. I was originally going to make one of the items that you lose all your channel points, but I was like, nah, I feel like anything that makes anyone feel like overly defeated, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's not going to be that great, you know? So I was like, no. But you can be timed out for 60 seconds.
Bad. This is bad.
It shouldn't be timing you out for every 60 seconds, though. It's supposed to be random. You could also feed the entity. That's a new one. And basically, on October 31st, I do a final survivor. And yeah, you get 660 final survivor points. Yeah. So if you're looking for something to do with all your channel points, you can feed the entity. I like how I'm like, I'm not like a horror game person. But then all my channel points and everything is like horror game and horror film related. Wait, Damsel, did you finish your totem cleansing thing that you were doing before? Wait, are they chasing? Oh my god. Ah. I was like, wait a minute, are they chasing me or chasing you? I froze the pallet. I couldn't jump over the frozen pallet. Wait, that freezes it for me too? Noted. You learn something every day. Why, thank you, thank you. Go that way?
Back to it then.
Alrighty.
Bloody hell.
Damn! No! Oh. That snowman gave me away. They wouldn't even have known I was over there. Wait, is the basement over here? Is that why they're going over here? Oh no! That damn snowman gave me away. How dare they? Is it this one? I mean, it gives me time to post this. Is there a reason why it's like... There we go. There we go. I think I got it to work. I got triple exposed when y'all got hooked. I'm sorry I couldn't get you. No, that's okay. Yeah. They were... I think they... I don't think they like the... The hook sabo. There's a lot of revealing perks on this one. Okay, I got it. They're not cutie. Hi, Heart Choker. Fred's to the end, Iron Grasp, Surge, and Thrilling Tremors. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. How are you doing, Heart Choker? Oh. We have an open spot. Let me go, Hey guys, I was the Myers. It was lots of fun. You had a lot of revealing perks. But GG's, good luck on your next match. I signed up for an extra shift in November, now I gotta work it. Oh no! Are you all talking in Firebird Queen's Discord? I don't want to jump in there if you all are talking about something.
This doesn't look right.
Imagine I got the gate open in time and yee! I'm able to chat with the TTA spot in hers. Okay. I mean, I just want to make sure. Is it okay if I come in there? Cause I'm on stream. I want to make sure it's okay. Do 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 do. Right brain seed. Okay. Okay. I'm coming. Hello.
Meow meow.
Hi.
Huey.
Hi.
I was like,
Meow.
I saw a whole bunch of people in here. That's what I was like, I don't want to like jump in there and y'all are talking about something.
Frybread Queen said, meow meow.
Meow meow.
Meow meow.
That's how we say hi.
Ah.
Server now, apparently.
Oh, okay, okay.
Meow meow.
Meow meow. Hmm.
Damula said, meow meow.
Meow.
Meow. Meow. Meow meow.
Meow meow.
Meow meow. So
Meow meow.
if meow meows hi, what's rawr? Did I just swear?
And, like, it sounds nasty, whatever. That's funny.
A link.
A link.
Roar is probs this.
A link?
You're dumb. That's funny. His little ears.
Oh.
Meow meow.
On my family-friendly stream? Right?
What?
What? Heart Choker said, on my family-friendly stream.
Oh, buddy. we were playing DBD, obviously, and like going off in the TTS saying words like raw, like just nasty. She was streaming. Like I mute, and she's like, okay. I'm done. Okay. Fucking laugh so fucking hard at that. She's like, "Good." Meow meow.
Imagine I have 5 days off and come back and there's 6 isolated rooms, everyone's sick. Oh no! I got my COVID shot today. I got my COVID vaccine,
nice.
so my arm hurts a little. My province is the only province that is charging people for COVID vaccines. Like, it's like $100. But yeah.
Holy.
I know, and everywhere else it's like free. And the only way you can get it free is if you are a high risk person. So I was talking to my doctor about it because I was concerned, and he was like, and so we went over the list, and he's like, "You're fine. Go tell them you have these things." One of the things is like ADHD, like, and then you get it covered. So I had to like. So I went there, and they wanted me to sign this paper saying, "I understand that if I'm not under one of the exemptions, that I have to pay." And I was like, "No, I'm not paying." Oh, it's a Michael. Is everyone gonna be Michael now? Jesus.
I mean, might as well.
All right. So yeah, so they were like, "So you're not gonna sign?" I'm like, "No," and I know I'm covered because I went over all the things already, and my doctor said that I should be covered, so I'm good. So no, I'm not signing that. And they're like, "I mean, it doesn't count if your doctor's like, oh, you know, you should get it or whatever." I'm like, "I'm not paying for it. I don't know how to say it more clear." So they let me go in anyways, even though I didn't sign their waiver form. And yeah, I was covered. So yeah, it's fine.
It's way to stand on business.
I know. I was like, I don't care. I don't care what your policy is. I'm not paying for it.
3gen is behind Crane, and that 3gen line to main. Main, yeah, it's the main. Behind Crane to main. I was playing Killer the other before I jumped on Survivor. And Survivors are mean, bro. I was getting flashbang, looking head on that one perk where you put the little ice like on the pallet. We're getting flashlights to shit. Horrible.
Who are you playing, Michael?
No, I played Hunty, so I've been playing on my.
Damula said, "He's near me and hit me." LMAO.
Oh shit! Love it. Again, I've been playing on my PC and I've been like really leaning on my keyboard and mouse for the hunting shot. But playing on my PlayStation's been pretty horrible. Fuck the 3gen turn. Okay. 3gen main.
If I'm forced to buy Mikey, I'm playing him. I already have Mikey. I went to go see what items I didn't have of the Halloween chapter, and I literally just had one Lori outfit that I didn't have, so, and it was on sale, so I bought it. So now I have everything.
Nice.
But I did the same with the Stranger Things chapter before it came out too.
Mhm. Yeah, I got his cosmetics and his pipe and his a screwdriver.
Back off! Damn it! Where is he taking you?
Damn, that's pretty far.
Apparently we're over there. Well, I saboed the hook, so. Damn, I'm lucky with the mystery box. What'd you get? Oh my god, you got gained 50 points? You weren't lucky. Most people get timed out. Everyone's getting piped.
Holy. I wish. Hey, it's been a minute. What is he doing? Are you okay, sir?
I think he's just waiting for someone to get that person.
Joke's on them. I owe no allegiance to them. They're random.
Jeez. Oh.
They're getting hella bar though.
Mm-hmm. They're be able to get off.
Yeah. Get off, bro.
I'm sad
You
about
have
how...
a full bar.
Right? Oh, there they go.
Yeah, there they go.
Yeah.
Hi, Crane.
Well, and the other thing too, so someone was in my chat earlier, and I was like, yeah, I said the only thing that really misses, like, that we won't have access to anymore is the map. And they're like, the map is going? I'm like, yeah, it's the same thing with Stranger Things. Anything that's licensed to that character is going to be gone. That's why they had to change the name of some of the perks and stuff with Stranger Things, and they took away the map. That's why when they brought the license back, we got the map back.
I like that map.
And it's
I'm not the best at it, but I do like it.
It's one of the first, like, DLCs that we ever got, so...
Oh shit, they got fucking Maury.
Jeez.
Open the door, up the door, look out of here.
Ooh.
The door, hurry up. He's coming.
Yeah, the map is fun, but
Over
it's funny
there.
since I never knew if you hated the map until now. Right? We're open.
Let's go. Fuck that, I ain't waiting.
Gotta pull you right from the door?
Fuck yeah, you would.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. I finally made it out.
Yay! Well, the only thing is, like, even though the license is lapped and it's gone away, because I think they're creating their own game, right?
Yes.
But doesn't mean that, you know, first of all, that game has to be successful. And then two, it doesn't mean that they can't renew a license at a later date and bring it back, so. Because Pinhead is also going to eventually go too, right?
He's gone.
He's gone already?
Yeah. You can't get him no more. Unless you already have him. Thank God.
Yeah, I have all... there's only one killer I don't have. But, yeah, I have a majority of the characters. They only had one perk. Huh. Interesting.
Auntie Lynn said, Imma go lurk in Aretha's stream. Night your
Yeah.
2 hearts.
Yes.
Hmm?
Good night.
Damula said,
Good
Good
night.
night, Red Heart.
Good night.
She said she's gonna come lurk in the stream. Because I
Ooh.
can't share my screen.
Oh no.
No.
Hart wants to know where your Christmas sweater is.
In hell. But they also have Christmas sweaters on.
I mean, I'm wearing a Christmas outfit. Does that count?
Are you?
Yeah, it's wintry. Look, I even got my fur boots on. And my boots with the fur. I did get new Christmas sweaters though. Ooh, thank you for the lyric. Whose sweater did I get? I got some new sweaters today. I mean, I got Christmas 12. Does it have to be a sweater? A sweter?
It has to be Christmas.
Aretha, you can turn down the
Very
TTS
nice.
spot. She's a little loud. Okay. Alright, Art Joker. I'll do it.
Sea Heart. Just silencing Damula.
There. What does the TT bot say now?
Meow meow. No, I don't know. Let's see.
Fry Bread Queen said, meow meow.
Is that good or is it still too loud? It's at 70%.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just realized when I was buying the shirts, I did not have the Dwight sweater. Oh, I got Claudette's Christmas sweater. I don't know what's very Christmassy about it other than it's a sweater.
Cute though. I like it.
Oh wait, is it Christmas lights on it? I thought they were flowers.
Yeah, they're Christmas lights and they look like vines, flush flowers.
I'm like, now that I see it on, I'm like, oh
That's
shoot.
neat.
Never mind, never mind.
That's cute.
I'm just being a hater. I do like the Christmas
Yeah,
sweater.
just talking shit before you learn. Nice.
I did. See, that's why. Can't talk shit before you really pay attention. Who's the other one? Does Mia have one? Do you even have one for Mia? Oh yeah, that's right.
hers
She has
is
cats.
like cats.
Yeah. Got my running shoes on. Got my hat. Oh, I don't even have that hat. Let's see, who else has a... Oh, I got Ace's sweater. Let's see. Pretty sure that's... Yep, there we go. Fung has a sweater? Oh, that's right. The level up one. Jeez. These matches getting so long.
Damula said, everybody Laurie and Michael tonight GGS.
Wait, what did the Holly things do other than give you... Did they give you extra points? Start with 12. Decrease number of skulls. Snow skulls for credit charge. Provides a 100 plus bonus to bone show score event. Okay.
Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna miss this. Okay. Oh, it's a fucking Vecnessy. He's next. Three gen is
300 points, 3,000 points to
right side of me.
Gen. Yeah. Oh.
Not that Vecnessy. Come on.
Where is everyone?
16.
I miss Old Haddonfield. It's been just a long time since the first games were. Not friends to the end. Why?
Oh, you got friends who did.
Oh shit. Is that why everyone's throwing snowballs at each other?
Okay, towards random. I'm OMW to random. I hear Daniel.
I'm on. He's on me. We're running around. We're running like a ballerina. No! Damn it. I was doing so good. Okay. Oh, he's in the house that I was in. He's going downstairs. Oh, it's Lori.
I got purpled.
That's okay. They're in the house in front of me, chasing Lori.
Nice. Almost done with this gun.
Oh, they quickly looked back at me and then started running after Lori again. Let's go.
Okay, new 3 gen is by where you're at. Basement is center.
Okay.
There's a base that's never ran into.
Oh wow. How long does that purple thing last for? I mean, I did get the head on, so, you know, it was worth it. Although I didn't mean to jump in the locker. That was an accident.
He's going down rain. Going to 2-story blue house. I think that's where the random one is. In front of 2-story blue house. He's in that, the fuck you call it? Snowman.
He's in the snowman?
Yeah.
Oh, he left. He's chasing after Lori again.
Thank you. Okay, 3 gen is right here. Emila, that's the corner.
Come on, 20! Oh.
Wow, that's not good, bro. Wow, what the fuck am I gonna do at 12? I see this sphere? That's stupid. How do you not see the big fucking purple bubble that's flying towards you?
god, how am I exposed again? Oh shit. Ooh, they kicked my gen. Let's go. They're in the middle of the street.
I'm behind 2-story.
Ooh, 7.
Corner. Run that hole, Damila. Run that hole. Okay, new 3 gen. Basement center. I'm going to the basement.
Yeah, I started that one a couple times. Each time I've gotten friends to the end, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But I did blast mine at one point. Oh, threw an eye at. Oh.
Inres. Where'd you get down at, Damila?
Over by the 2-story house in the back. Oh no! Ooh, shit! Why am I exposed? Damn it!
Oh, good, Damila. OMW, Damila.
Damn it!
Nice, my
Damn
basement gen's almost done. Go ahead, no.
Woo! Ow! Did I freeze that? Or did they freeze that? I don't even know.
Where'd it go? I can't find you.
No!
I don't know where Daniel went.
Someone's upstairs and someone's downstairs. I think one of them's on that gen downstairs.
There's Daniel. I see her now. Really good. Okay, Eureka.
Okay.
Everyone come to hook.
Oh, the killer's coming hook.
Come back. Okay. Took it to hit the. Oh, why this random brought them all the way over here? It's wild. Oh shit, I'm out of the door.
They're on the other door?
Yeah.
I'm coming back. Oh no, Damila, no! I got a medkit.
Okay.
Oh. Not Damila.
We can grab. We'll just have to go. Oh, come on, this way over here. Little bubbles coming this way. Your bubble bit missed us. Alright, let's go. You can see us, he's in Maine right there. Okay, try to leave.
Okay.
Ew, I saw up your dress.
No.
Okay. Stimuli farm? Oh, I couldn't duck in time. May.
No. No.
No, don't pick me up. Don't hurt my feelings. No, don't touch me. Purple bubble, purple bubble, purple bubble.
Oh my god, shit. I hate how that purple bubble, like, when you see it coming at you, like, it looks like it's, like, going to go a direction, and then it's like, no, that's not where it's going to go.
Damn, you're an asshole. You're a make asshole. No.
We almost did it. We almost did it. Tell him to take you to the hatch. Oh, I'll let you out. Yay!
GG's.
Wait, are you playing on your computer or are you playing on your PlayStation?
My PlayStation.
Oh.
I packed up my computer.
Ooh.
Packed away. Miss it already.
Wait, is it like with you or just like packed away? Like, did you like ship it ahead of time?
No, I'll be putting her in my car.
Okay, who else did I get a sweater? Did I get Jane's sweater? Nah, I don't think so. No, I didn't get it yet. Oh, that's right. I ran out of money then. There, I'm very Christmassy now. Let's see. Distortion, life, glass mine. Welcome back from the ad break. How's everyone doing today? Oh my gosh. This is my friend's sweater. It's one of her merch from her, the work that she does called the Matriarch Medicine. I was wearing it today during my interview with one of the people that I was, interviewing. It was a slow Monday. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I recorded one of my podcast interviews. My last one is on Wednesday. today I interviewed someone who is a fashion designer. It's been really cool. All right, let's see. I have light, distortion, blast mine, and inner strength. Okay, I haven't been doing too much inner strength, but maybe I need to like go cleanse some bones. I guess I'm trying to not rely on inner strength so much, you know? But I also have been using it. What do we do? Do we think it's gonna be a Michael Myers? It might be. Oh my god, I just realized that the hollies are made from toes. Is it toes or fingers?
Wow.
I'm observant. Sometimes.
Damula said,
Oh my god.
Lamau.
Lamau.
Lamau. I thought it was just like, you know, like regular holly, but apparently not. Oh.
Fuck me, bro. GG's next.
Who is it?
The Legion.
Ew. He hit me, so I hit him back.
Yeah.
Now he's after me.
3-gen center is Behold'em.
No! I think I lost him. Still on me? No! Damn it. Wow, he really wanted me.
Nice run.
Thank you.
Okay, new 3-gen. The second story center.
I think he went up top. Above me where I am. But I don't have heart.
I got you. He was back there when I was back there in the hallway. He's coming now. He's coming, leave. Okay.
I'm running away.
Oh fuck, I didn't even see him until like way after. Damn. Coming down the hallway. On the random.
still on rando? We might have to go get Forever Queen.
Yeah, still on random. And they're right behind me. Upstairs. Yeah, just got them. On Boone. We can heal him Boone real quick.
Okay. Oh. Panda, now you got timed out for 60 seconds.
Thank you.
Damn it!
Upstairs on single person gen.
Yeah. Damn it. Your luck had to run out sometime, Panda Cat. Oh, killer's in front of me.
Okay, let me know when he leaves. I'm right here.
Okay, he went behind me somewhere. I haven't seen him.
Okay. Oh, never mind. Come back.
Oh, that way?
I'm gonna go back upstairs.
Damn it! The mystery box really does giveth and taketh. It really does. Is it this one? No. This one. Ooh.
I got stuck.
I'm on my way. I'm almost at you.
Thank you.
There we go.
Getting heartbeat.
Where are they?
Oh no. Heartbeat's getting bigger.
Ow! Yeah, you just hit me. What? Ah, get away from me!
Where's the hook? Where's the hook? Where's the hook?
Is it behind me? Oh, he's going. He's going forward. He's going forward. Going forward.
Forward. Oh my god! I went not the right way. No.
Wow. I love how he like hit me in his power once and then like powered down just to like come after me. I think it was all the power stuff. It's okay. Not everyone can love Christmas. It's okay.
Damn it up. Get damn it up. Damn it up. Get damn it up. Thank all. Ooh.
If you're injured in a snowman, do they still hear you?
I think so. Ow. Well, okay.
Oh, bloody hell!
He definitely didn't like me or damsel.
Damula said, yay, I can go get coffee lol.
Click on Jen, Laura.
Basement lol.
Who's in the basement?
Laura's in the basement.
Laura.
She also needs to mend, and she's not mending. She has a broken key? Laura, you need to mend.
Wait, what?
Oh. Lori was in the basement, and she needed to mend. But that was so weird. She literally, like, was almost fully bled out, like so that she would fall.
She's running clairvoyance build. She can see Hatch.
Oh. Okay, I know where she's at. I'm gonna go crawl to her. I'm gonna be that toxic.
Yeah, she's literally... Oh, I think the killer knows.
Got to get out.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Get off!
Well, damn, she should have told me where Hatch was before she did that.
Yeah, right? Just DC'd. She didn't have a key.
Are you gonna be Hatch? Are you gonna be nice? Are you gonna be a nice Legion? No. Well, damn.
No Christmas presents for you.
Camilla said she was trying to wake you out. As long as she drops items, she sees totems, chests, and Hatch, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, 'cause she had that one key in her hand for like the longest time. Then she dropped it, but the hatch isn't gonna spawn until we're the last one. So. Oh, they had Discordance, Lightborn, Beast of Prey, and Bitter Murmur.
Murmur.
I like how the killer like didn't even wait. They were just like, I'm out.
I don't blame them.
I'm back. Alright. Alright.
Well, I'm out. Okay, this one's gonna be LG for me.
LG for you? Sounds good.
Cause I'm tired.
Actually, LG sounds good. I do need to have some I have to do stuff tomorrow.
Oh shit, did I do dailies? Sure. I did, okay, good. I'm like, oh.
I can relax, lay in bed, maybe watch some TV on my iPad. Hi, Phoenix. Thank you for redeeming your daily golden ticket. Or, in the words of Freiburg Queen, Phoenix.
Shut the fuck up. What's up, Phoenix? Funny is they didn't correct me, like at all. They never got corrected. I was like, and then I heard them like introduce themselves, and I was like, wow, I feel so fucking.
I want people to live their truth. Well, you know,
my truth is mastery.
I will say though, well, I've never heard you call them Phoenix before, so, but I've heard other people also call them Phoenix before. So, I don't think it's a, I think it's a common thing that, you know, people assume that.
Damn. And X. Lamau.
It's very common. How's the fog tonight? Oh, not too bad. I mean, we've had a few Myers and a few Loris. I think that was that like the first game that we had that we didn't have a Myers or a Lori? No,
Yeah.
the one before it. No, they had a Lori, right? Mm-hmm.
I got the Pokemon. Let's go.
Damula said, no Laurie or Michael last game.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But yeah. I mean, it's been pretty interesting. I feel like some people are being overly sweaty and they don't really need to be, but you know, that's fine. It happens.
Lamau.
Give me. Damn it! I was so close. I saw everyone freaking out about the Halloween license going back. Yeah, a lot of people are. I mean, I already had. I went to go check to see that if I had everything, but yeah, I think the only thing I had was one outfit from Lori, so I just bought it today because it was on sale. But yeah, yeah. And I was talking in my well, during stream, and someone in my YouTube chat was like, because I was like, yeah, and plus, like, you know, the map is going, and they were like, the map is going too, and I'm like, yeah, like everything that's licensed, so that means the map that it came with as well. Forgot they're making their own game. Yeah. Well, to be fair, like, even though they're making their own game, it has to be good and be successful as well, so you never know. You could always come back if it's not.
3gen is main, second story, and in front of 3gen. Or in front of main, I mean. Oni?
Oh. Oni the Lonely?
Is he hot?
He's a bear?
Getting it, man.
I stare at Evil Dead in Texas Chainsaw and I'm making it. Right?
Yo, Texas Chainsaw was so good until they, like, quote unquote updated it, and then it became, like, insufferable to play. Play the shit out of that game.
I can never make it out of the basement. I tried so many. I think I made it out of the basement like once or twice. Like, I just could never make it out of the basement.
Just played a fucking shit out of that game with Sloth. Polo Sloth. Yeah, we played the fuck out of it. Then we like play it for a little bit, and we came back, and everyone and their damn grandma was sweaty as the whole league. Just sweaty grandma.
I love Texas Chainsaw. I saw some bigger streamers playing it recently, and I thought the servers were shut down. Wait, were the servers shut down? Well, I used to love playing this one game, and they did. Oh my god, they shut down the servers, but they did make the game downloadable, and a group of people then uploaded it to a private server that you can play. You can still play it that way now. So maybe they did that. Maybe.
The servers are still open for Texas. I want to say they are, because they recently advertised that it was like on sale right now.
Is the killer? Where's the killer? Oh.
Samuel, is anyone coming for you?
We're trying to. The killer's just near the killer shack. Okay, I'm coming. The killer was kind of proxy camping, but I'm here. I'm here now.
Oh.
They found Rando.
3gen back at center.
Yeah, Rando's being chased around Killer Shack.
Damula said. Whatever perk blocks Windows on gen completion.
What is that? That's
Oh.
I need to know. Oh my god, he's upset with me. Please, don't run after me. Holy
He's a
fuck
bear.
you, bro. Holy fucking fuck. McFucking. 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 McFucking.
No, don't run towards the killer. Run away from the killer.
I'm trying.
No, our rando. I got him off hook, and they literally ran towards the killer, and I'm like, I just.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, tell them to run towards the killer. Cause I need it. I need it. Okay. Dude, fucking killer is trying to kill me, bro. I don't like it. Hurts my feels. Look, he hit me. Someone dropped Shack?
Yeah, probably rando,
Oh.
because they were running near Shack the whole time.
What the hell? Why they didn't tell anybody?
Rando? Why didn't rando?
Yes,
I
it's
know.
also wood.
I don't know, because they're not in here.
They should be. They should find a way to communicate with
Damula
us.
said. It was me. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Hey,
offer
Damula. Why did you tell anyone?
I tried to avoid first hit.
I guys are both in gens. Never mind.
Yeah.
Gens.
Wait, where's killer? Oh.
He's picking right now. Good. He's hooking now.
Ah! Jesus.
I can't remember if he had pain or... There's no pallets over here, by the way. Yeah, go
I'm
towards
running.
me. I dumped all the pallets.
He's too funny.
Thrilling too, I think.
Oh, shit.
Damage.
He's just wasting his power over here.
Not bad,
Yeah. Nah! Nah! Ah, that was dumb of me. I thought it was behind me. I liked Evil Dead, because I liked the movie franchise, but the game was a little bit hard. But I think it's still going, though. I bought, like, the director's version, so I got all the special things for it. But I haven't played that one either.
I heard that game was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. No. Oh my god, he's right here. Holy fuck. He's right there. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm in basement and main building.
Oh my god, he's Where is he? On me. Oh my god. Fuck,
Oh.
good job.
Yay!
That was good. Okay, he's hooking me. Now. He's going into main. Okay. He's picking up all my blood skis. Taking a gen next to me. Now he's heading into Shrine.
Yeah, I have heartbeat. Wow, your bar's like almost full.
Yeah, he was gathering all my bloods. But he left. No, someone else come get me.
Oh, your bar's like full now.
Nice. Oh shit, no, come on. Let me out. There it is. He's right there. Oh man.
Wait, is it coming after you?
No. He's on Damula.
Oh.
Okay, he's on me now. I don't know why he's tunneling me though. Kinda hurts my feelings. Not gonna lie. Head back. That was almost done too.
Air.
Nice.
Oh shit! Damn it! No! Damn it!
No.
No.
What's that? Like when he hits a survivor, the fucking
Oh, isn't that whatchamacallit?
windows block.
Is it surge? No, it's pop? No.
No. Those are gens. For the window to be blocked.
Oh.
Head towards door.
I am in front of the door.
I'll kill you. I'm probably gonna get killed.
I'm
There's no lie.
by Boone.
I'm gonna get killed. I'm dead. He's grabbing all my period blood from the shaft. It's his walker for some reason. He just walked right over me. Right towards Boone.
Ooh, I think he has ultimate weapon because my thing just went off.
Oh, Rebecca's picking me up.
Is he still near you?
Girl?
If you crawl towards me, can you see me? This is a Boone here that you can pick yourself up.
Yeah, I'm heading towards Boone now. Oh, of course he picks me. You lame ass.
Oh.
He got me? For some reason, I don't know.
Oh.
Hooks Rebecca.
Who's Boone?
Say towards you guys.
Shit.
Don't leave yet, Damula. Let me get to this Boone first, girl.
Damula said, "I'm not. I got you."
He did come towards me, but then
Coming back.
left. Oh shit.
He's Ingy. You're so far away.
Okay. I thought he knocked me down too close, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna pick me up. No, I made it.
Wait. Wait for him to leave. He doesn't know I'm here. Okay. He knows I'm here.
Woo! Yay! Look at that. That's a great LG.
Oh. Big hypes for Damula and the Boon.
GGS.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Holy, that was scary. I was a scout.
Yeah, because they...
Barbecue chicken. What is Cruel Limit? Cruel Limit, Demogorgon. Every time a generator is completed, all windows in vault locations are blocked for survivors for 30 seconds. That's pain res, yeah. Grim.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Alrighty. Well, thanks for playing, everyone.
Yes, thanks for playing. Twas fun, twas fun.
It was fun, it was fun. Alright. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Thank you for games.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for playing.
Okay.
I'll talk to y'all later.
Good night, good night.
Good night. Bye. Oh, shit. I'm like, what did I just press? Just press the wrong button. Oh my god, everyone. I'm so tired. I just want to lay down. Good night, good night. Yes. I don't know when I'm going to stream next. I might stream... I can't stream on Wednesday because I'm actually going to another Christmas party for Doc Alberta, which is Documentary Alberta. Friday night I also have something, so... And then Thursday night I also have something, so... I might not be able to stream again. I don't know. Maybe Saturday? We'll see. Maybe I can do Friday. I might be able to do Friday. I might be able to do Friday night. We shall see. Thank you, Damsel. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for playing. Let me give you a shout out. Everyone go follow Damsel. And also go follow Red Queen. Red Queen. And while you're at it, go follow Phoenix. Oh my god. Go follow Phoenix. It's a tongue twister. Okay, we're gonna go find someone to raid. Let me go put this points into Dora.
Sam?
Wait, do I have enough points already? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Get that one. This one. I never use them, but I just want them all, you know? The Houndmaster, the Nurse, the Krasu. The Unknown. I don't think I actually use this one. Like I said, I just want them all. Even if I don't use them. Okay. Like I said, I don't know when I'll stream next. If I do play, I'll probably just be playing games. Thank you all for being here and hanging out. Thank you, Red Queen. Thank you, Damsel. And thank you, Web Swing, for playing earlier today. Much appreciated. Take this one here. Let's go find someone to raid. I'm so sleepy. But also, I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube first. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the views. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Much appreciated. And yeah, I'm getting that much closer. Hopefully, I do want to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube eventually. But I'm going to post more clips of YouTube because I think that's what I'm YouTube. DBD, my gameplays on DBD. I need to post more clips of that. So yes, I will do that sooner than later. But yeah, thank you, YouTube. Have a good night. Bye. There. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna lay in my bed, watch my comfort show, relax. Let's see. Who should we go say hi to? I'm like, when did I start following this person? They're dressed as Chips Ahoy Steve. It's not a bad thing. I was just like, oh, I feel like that's all coming back to me. You don't like Steve? No, I like Steve. I just don't remember following that person. But then I'm like, them being Chips Ahoy Steve like reminds me of something. You know, like you're trying to figure out how you followed this person. Sometimes I'm followed so many people that I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, I don't know where this person came from. Okay, there is someone who, hold on. Check someone. Lamo. Okay. We have someone who's part of the Alliance, and it is their birthday subathon today. So we are going to go over and say hi. And that's what we are going to do. Yes. Again, I don't know when I'm going to stream next. To be honest, I really need to do... I put an extension on, and I'm supposed to write my LSAT like in January, and I haven't studied at all. Like, at all. I'm now on like really good ADHD medication, which has been helping me keep my focus a little bit, but I've just been trying to catch up working on other things that I haven't had a chance to even like study, and I really need to prioritize that at one point. But yeah, I haven't done that at all, so we're gonna do that. But we're gonna go see Delamy. I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong. It is their birthday today. And we are going to go raid them. Here is the raid message. The first one is if you're a subscriber. Second one is if you are a follower. Let's go over and say hi. Don't forget to wish them happy birthday. You can just spam whatever emotes you want. Yes, thank you for being here. Like I said, I'm not too sure when my next stream is going to be. If I do, it might be I might do a co-working stream. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do a co-working stream. I don't know if I'll do any games. See you Friday. Yes, I will try to do Friday something. Yeah, we shall see. All right. You all have a wonderful night, and thank you again for being here, and I appreciate you all. Also, hi Heart Joker, and hope you have a wonderful day at your work. Like I hope you get some rest, get to play some games eventually. Eventually. All right, I'm sleepy. I gotta go to bed. I'm so sleepy. And also, thank you to my mods for being here. Much appreciated. Oh, and thank you to JR for playing earlier. I totally forgot about that. I have them. I'm off tomorrow. Ooh.